Good evening students. Let's see exercise 8.2 solutions. Question number 1. ABCD is a quadrilateral. So first draw a quadrilateral. A, B, C, D, in which PQRS are midpoints of side AB, BC, CD and DA. So these are the four midpoints with us. AC is a diagonal. So AC is also joined like this. Now what we have to show is, so given is PQRS are midpoints. This is given to us. That's it. And we have to prove SR parallel to AC. First thing, so let's join SR. We have to prove SR parallel to AC. It is okay. And second, we have to prove SR is equal to half of AC. I think it can be done directly with the theorem only. Second is PQ is equal to SR. That is, we have to prove this PQ and this SR equal. Third thing, we have to prove this complete PQRS a parallelogram. So let's start the proof part. First thing, we have to prove SR parallel to AC. So if you observe, in this quadrilateral we have a triangle ADC. We can see this triangle ADC. In this triangle ADC, we can apply the theorem, because that theorem of midpoint is applicable in triangle only. We can say that directly, we can say SR is parallel to, or we can write the statement like this. One second, we can show everything like this. As S and R are the midpoints of side AD and DC respectively, we can say that SR is parallel to AC and SR is equal to half of AC, because by midpoint theorem. That's it. First part is proved. Now see second part. We have to prove PQ equal to SR. If you observe this SR and AC, we have got a relation between these two. We cannot find a relation directly between SR and PQ right now. But what if we find a relation between PQ and AC again? So in that case, what will happen? This AC will become a connecting link between these two things. So we can say also in triangle ACB, same thing, PQ is parallel to AC and PQ is equal to half of AC. Same reason, because midpoint theorem. So from equation 1 and equation 2, we can observe that SR is equal to half of AC and PQ equal to half of AC. So they both have same right hand side. They both have half AC on the right hand side. So we can say the left is also equal. So from equation 1 and equation 2, we have got SR equal to PQ. Second part is proved. Now the third part. Again, very easy to prove, because whatever we have done till now, that only will help us to prove it a parallelogram. We all know a quadrilateral is a parallelogram if one pair of opposite side is equal as well as parallel. And we know as SR is equal to PQ, that we have proved above. So PA and SR parallel to AC and AC parallel to PQ, we can say SR is parallel to PQ. Hence PQRS is a parallelogram because one pair of opposite sides is equal as well as parallel. Okay, now let's see question number 2. Question number 2 is ABCD is a rhombus. So again, let's draw a rhombus. We all know rhombus is a parallelogram with all sides equal. So we need to recall all the properties of rhombus. So given ABCD is a rhombus. Second thing, with midpoints PQRS or ABBC, same thing, P, Q, R and S. Okay, we have to prove that PQRS is a rectangle. First let me join them. Like this. You can use scale for this. We have to prove this PQRS is a rectangle. So solution, before that, to prove PQRS is a rectangle. So we have two hints. We have to prove it first a parallelogram, and then we have to prove somehow that one angle is 90 degree. If we are able to prove these two things, we can say it is a rectangle. So let's start the proof. First thing, we want to prove it a parallelogram. That is very easy with the help of midpoint theorem. Again, we will join the diagonal AC. This will help us a lot. So in triangle ADC, we can say SR is parallel to AC and SR is equal to half of AC, because you can say line joining midpoint of two sides is parallel to third side and is half of it, or you can say by midpoint theorem. It would be better if you write the complete theorem itself. Okay, now similarly we can say in triangle, which one, ABC, PQ is parallel to AC and PQ is equal to half of AC. Same reason, by MPT, that is midpoint theorem. Now let me call it equation number 1. Let me call it equation number 2. But we can say from equation 1 and equation 2, first thing we have got is SR is parallel to AC and PQ is parallel to AC. So can't we say SR and PQ are parallel? So let's write that. Sorry, PR. First thing we have got is SQ parallel to PR, and second thing, let me rub this. Second thing, as this SR is equal to half of AC and PQ is also half of AC, so you can see they both have same right hand side. That means left is also equal. So we can say SR is equal to PQ. That means it was a mistake. This name is a wrong one. It is SQ parallel to, sorry, SR parallel to PQ. One second. SR parallel to PQ and SR equal to PQ. This we have got from equation 1 and equation number 2. If you want to show them in a detailed way, you can do that also, no issue. So from these two we can say, therefore PQRS is a parallelogram. Reason being very simple, because one pair of opposite sides is equal as well as parallel. You can write the reason over here. After this, the job left is to prove it a rectangle. Now we have to prove somehow that any of the angle this one angle this one, we have to prove any of it as 90 degree. Now question comes, how shall we prove this? For this we have to think about this. ABCD is a rhombus. What property of rhombus can help us in this question? Try to think. In rhombus, when you hear about this angle, yes, you hear when you hear about the diagonals. The diagonals of a rhombus bisect each other perpendicularly. So if I draw the second diagonal, this angle I know is how much? Right angle. That is why I have drawn this square angle to show I know it is a right angle. Let me call it angle 1. Okay. Let me call this angle as angle 2 and let me call this angle R as 3. My job is to reach from angle 1 to angle 2, from angle 2 to angle 3. I have shown you the path. Now you can pause the video and try to understand how can you prove this, and with that you can prove it is a rectangle. Let's see now. Can we say angle 1 and angle 2 are interior angles on the same side of transversal? Yes class, can we say? Yes, we can say, because if you observe, SR is a line, AC is a line also, and the both are parallel, and this DB is a transversal. So this angle 2 and this angle 1, they are forming interior angles on the same side of transversal, so they are supplementary. We can say angle 1, now angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 180 degree, because interior angles on the same side of transversal are supplementary. I am writing in the short form, you can write the complete form. Luckily we know the value of angle 1 is 90 degree. From where we got this value? Because we know in a rhombus diagonals bisect perpendicularly. Plus angle 2 is equal to 180 degree. That gives you angle 2 equal to 180 minus 90, 90 degree. So we have reached from angle 1 to angle 2. Now last step, we want to reach from 2 to 3, and as soon as we prove that, we are done. So same case, you can observe as RQ are also midpoints, we can say as this RQ is midpoint of R comma Q are midpoint of DC and CB, of DC and CB respectively. We can say RQ line is also parallel to DB. So this time we just have to change the view. We can see this RQ as first line, we can see this DB as second line, and we can see this line, that is AC, as a transversal. And now if you observe, again you have got the same thing, angle 2, angle 3. What relation do they have? They have the same relation, that is they are interior angles on the same side of transversal. Again we can say the same thing, angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degree. Same reason, interior angles on the same side of transversal are supplementary. And this time, because we have proved above, angle 2 is 90 degree plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degree, that gives me angle 3 equal to 90 degree. And now we can say parallelogram with one angle equal to 90 degree is a rectangle. Therefore PQRS is a rectangle. I hope it is clear to everyone. So you have to understand how to use the given things in a proper way. Question number 3. ABCD is a rectangle and PQRS are the midpoints. So this time, in the last question ABCD was rhombus, now it is a rectangle. So you can see they are changing questions like this. They are just trying to check your knowledge. So this time it is a rectangle. So again you should be remembering all the properties of rectangle. Okay, PQ are the midpoints of AB. Okay, same thing, P, Q, R and S. So given to you are two things, ABCD is a rectangle, and second thing, P, Q, R, S are the midpoints. Now let's see what we have to prove. We have to prove the reverse thing. We have to prove PQRS are rhombus. So to prove PQRS a rhombus, and we all know rhombus is a parallelogram with all sides equal. Yes. So again, first step will be to prove it a parallelogram, and second step is to prove all sides equal. Now first think about parallelogram thing, and then we will see how to prove sides equal. Let's join these. If you have not tried this question on your own, I suggest you try on your own first and then only watch the solution. Okay, so let's start. First let me join this diagonal AC, and we all know first part is very easy because we have been doing the same thing for the last two questions. So proof in triangle ADC, same thing, SR parallel to AC and SR equal to half of AC, equation number 1 by midpoint theorem. Similarly, in triangle ABC, we can say PQ is parallel to AC and PQ is equal to half of AC. Same reason, MPT, and this is your equation number 2. We can observe from both the equations whatever we want we have got. First thing, SR parallel to PQ and SR equal to PQ, and we can say this SRPQ or PQRS is a parallelogram. You have to write the reason. You can write very easily, as one pair of opposite sides are equal as well as parallel, therefore it is a parallelogram. Now comes the second question. What do you think? How will you prove all sides equal? Right now we know only two things, that as it is a parallelogram, PQ is equal to SR and PS is equal to RQ. Because we know in a parallelogram opposite sides are equal, but this is not enough. We want to prove all sides equal. Now just join this diagonal, but this time it is not same like last question, because in rectangle diagonals doesn't bisect as rhombus, but we have other property of rectangle that will help us. Before that, let's observe. We have PQ equal to SR, PS equal to RQ. We want a connecting link. If we are able to prove PQ equal to RQ, if we can prove this thing or we can prove this thing, we can say all are equal. So the question comes, from where did I get this connecting link? The answer is hidden in the given part only. ABCD is a rectangle. In rectangle, diagonals are equal. That means AC is equal to BD. That will help us here. Let's see how. In rectangle, we know diagonals are equal. That is AC is equal to BD. This will help us. How? We know that as PQ is equal to half of AC. We know this thing because by midpoint theorem, by MPT. Also, this QR or RQ is equal to half of this BD, again by MPT. Now class, are you able to understand what I have done? Here AC is coming, here BD is coming, and they both are equal. Can't we change it? So we can say, or RQ is equal to half of AC because BD equal to AC. Now, if you compare these two, let me call it equation number 3. Let me call it equation number 4. From equation 3 and 4, we have got the answer. So, from equation 3 and equation 4, we can say PQ is equal to RQ, and this was the connecting link. If you see, we already had two opposite sides equal and we have got the connecting link, therefore all sides are equal, and hence PQRS is happily rhombus. It was very easy if you are able to understand the properties, how to use it, how to utilize it. That's it. Next question. Question number 4. ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to DC. This question is similar to example number 8. Similar to example number 8. If you have done example number 8, it will be very easy for you. So before trying or before watching my solution, I suggest you to try this question on your own. For a hint, let me tell you, this is based on inverse of midpoint theorem. So in this ABCD is a trapezium given. ABCD is a trapezium. Second thing they are saying is AB is parallel to DC. So it is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to DC. Then they are saying E is midpoint. So E is a midpoint. It is also given to you. E is midpoint. So there is a difference. Now you have only one midpoint. In earlier questions you have many midpoints. So E is midpoint. After that, what they are saying, a line is drawn through E parallel to AB. So we are drawing a line through E parallel to AB like this. This is a line which is parallel to AB. Let me write this again. This is E. Okay. We know this is a midpoint. That means these two are equal. Okay. We have to prove that F is midpoint of BC. We have to prove F is midpoint of BC. So to prove F is midpoint of BC. Now, can we apply directly the converse of midpoint theorem, that line starting from midpoint of one side going parallel to second side will bisect third side? Can we apply here right now? No, we cannot apply because it is a trapezium and converse of midpoint theorem is applicable only to a triangle. So we have to go indirectly to the answer. To go indirectly, the question has given you a hint. They have joined this D and B. By joining it, they have made the things very easy for you. Let me call it point number G. Now, in this triangle ADB, proof, in triangle ADB, we can say by in converse. First, let me write as E is midpoint of AD and EG is parallel to AB, therefore we can say G is midpoint of DB. Now you will ask how? Because converse of midpoint theorem, which says line starting from midpoint of one side going parallel to second side will bisect the third side. This is your converse of midpoint theorem, and with this we have got G is a midpoint. That means these two are equal now. Now if you see this reverse triangle, can't you use again the same converse theorem to prove that F is a midpoint? It is very easy. So in triangle DBC, same thing we can say as G is midpoint and GF is parallel to DC, therefore F is midpoint of what? BC, because converse of midpoint theorem. That's it. So in this question there was no direct link, so we had to find an indirect link. This side was the connecting link between these two sides, and that helped us to prove the question easily. So that's it from my side. Remaining we will discuss in the next part. Thank you.